welcome back to our Game of Thrones podcast. We finally are back after a full year.
No doubt.
Some people ain't making.
All right.
Yeah, lots.
Literally.
Yeah.
A lot of feel by the wayside.
Let them people feel by the wayside. We are back with my man Scott and, of course, Raven.
Hello.
Nobody knows who. You know how many Scotts there are in this world?
One.
Scott goes by Pruitt. What?
Pruitt
Igo.
Igo.
There's only one.
Now,
Where
if
would
you
I
search
go?
both of those, you'll find them.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's been stated.
All right, so we're back to discuss Game of Thrones' this upcoming season, predictions, thoughts. We're going to play a couple of games for you, all that good stuff. So first up, Raven, you want to take it over for the first game?
Real quick, Tyler will be rejoining us.
Yeah, man, my man Tyler.
His
He's having a
wife
kid.
His wife is having their second baby, but he will be rejoining us as a guest this season. I've heard that people love his commentary, so
right.
he'll be back.
All right. Pruitt Igo.
Yeah.
You got any thoughts so far since from last season, just off the top of your head that you've been thinking about before we jump into our game?
Tons, but I'm sure they'll come up during the discussion.
All right.
Yeah, all right. I'm trying to find the game. Okay, so question number 1. Which named character will speak the first line of the season? And we're going to keep track of these, too. I'm not sure how our point system is going to work, but we'll keep track of these and see who's right.
How many points are we going to go for each person?
So for this one, I think this one, what should this be worth? Let's make this one worth, according to this one, it's worth 1 point.
Yeah, look, we'll just go by their chart because
Okay,
I'm figuring they
that's
probably
fine.
already did all the mathematics for you. So
Okay,
let's
so
go with them.
first line of the season, I think Tyrion is going to speak. We left off the end of season 7 with him observing, or not observing, but listening outside John and Danny's door as
Keeping
they
it creepy.
make sweet love.
Keeping it creepy.
So I think that he could be the first person that speaks in season 8.
I think it's going to be Jamie. Jamie left King's Landing to find out, to go to the wall. And so I feel like we're going to find out where his travels are. Because I can't imagine he'll be there by the time everyone shows up. So,
Like, man, where'd everybody go? Like, I was saying I was on my way.
He was just walking off into the wilderness, so I figured we'll see how that ended up
Right.
at the end of the season.
I'm going with Bran. I just feel like it's going to be like a voiceover or something. With Bran talking about just, I don't know, some foolishness like Jaden Smith. So, listen to the podcast with me and Matt. That'll make sense to you. So next up, are the following characters alive at the end of the series? So
Just kind of go one by one. So there's 12 characters listed here. Each one will be worth 1 point. The first one is Arya. I'm saying yes. I think she's going to live.
I agree. I think she will too.
me too. I want that too.
Okay. Sansa.
I also agree.
Yeah, I agree.
You think she will be?
I think she'll be alive.
I'm going with no.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going with no.
Come on, jump on in.
Talk to us about it.
Now, we have another guest. She was on our movie podcast. There's quite a few emails concerning your thoughts on us.
I'm the controversial one. Hi there, everyone. Diana. You can find me on Instagram, Diana Marissa. Air all your grievances there.
So, you said Sansa.
Yeah, so
I've
I
never heard her saying
Go
Sansa.
I think she'll live. I'm thinking so.
Okay. I think Sansa might die. I only see one Stark child making it to the end.
But somebody's got to run Winterfell though, and Arya
I
is
know.
about their life.
I know, but it doesn't have to be one of the Stark children that runs Winterfell.
Sure.
Okay.
I don't really have any basis beyond that.
Okay, no, that's fine.
I just see, I don't see everybody making it to the end, and I see the Starks being eliminated except for Arya.
Well, I believe that Tyrion and Sansa are going to end up on the Iron Throne. I think it's going to be Tyrion, Sansa, and we'll get...
So it's just going to be a total 360 back to them already being married, and it's all
Exactly.
good because they're already married.
Exactly. And I think Arya is going to have to step up and take over ownership of Winterfell.
Dang. I've never heard that theory ever, but I appreciate that theory. I've never heard that theory
When
either.
you think about Tyrion,
There's nothing wrong with that. That
I
makes
believe
sense.
Tyrion's a Targaryen, and I believe that, and then obviously Sansa is a Stark, and so
Mm-hmm.
that marriage would handle the political ramifications of who holds the throne. Arya can take over Winterfell because she's still a Stark. Bran can go off and be Bran the Builder, whoever the hell he's going to be. So
He's gonna be something random.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I see Bran making to the end. But I don't know. But for as far as who's going to sit on the Iron Throne, actually, that's a question later on, so I'll reserve my response.
But hey, I like that theory, man. I like that theory. What's this? The next one?
The next one is...
Oh, the next person is Jamie.
Yeah, next person is Jamie.
no.
Yes, I think Jamie will make it.
But he said, I want to die in somebody's arms that I love. I thought that was like a prequel saying like he's going to die.
That's his desire. That's not saying that that's going to happen.
So you don't think you're going to get it with Brienne and Tarth?
I don't think so. I mean, I think that there's an admiration there, but I don't know if I see it as a romance.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he might make it to the end, though. I see him. Well, also, there's all of this foreshadowing of him being the hand of the king. So,
Wow, Jamie being the hand?
Yeah, I do.
Know, I mean,
the hand with
The
only one hand.
Well, now we go, the hand to what king?
Yeah. Okay. So
What king?
Well, I don't know if I should reserve my response. I'm not saying that the king will be Tyrion, but if we were to go with your belief that Tyrion and Sansa are going to make it, I could see Jamie being his hand.
I mean, I could agree in that instance, but that's the only instance I think that Jamie could be the hand of the king.
is if it's his brother.
Yeah. Because who
I
doesn't trust
don't
him
know.
enough?
Well, Jamie is earning a lot of people's trust, especially if he's gonna turn against his sister, which I absolutely think is gonna happen.
But that's why I don't think anyone would choose him as the hand of the king because they're like he turns on so many people.
Well, I don't know.
Wow, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, it
Y'all talking
would.
about some good stuff, man. But I think Jamie gonna die though.
You do? How do you think he's gonna die?
I think he's gonna die fighting like literally probably with like Cersei type thing, like laying together with her or something.
Okay.
I can see that.
Where like he got stabbed or something and he like falls into her and the knife goes into her too, like something like crazy. You know. What? Go ahead. You wanna say something?
No, that's fine.
Go ahead.
No, I think that's a fair point. I think it could be the two of them. Yeah, some sort of quarrel at the end between the two of them. People will probably be happier about Cersei being the one that doesn't survive, but I kind of think, I'm not sure. I kind of think Jamie might prevail and that Cersei dies, but I don't know. I'm just note taking right now. Yeah.
Diana's gonna keep track of our responses,
Yeah.
Oh,
so you don't try to take back later, because Daryl likes to cheat.
No, I don't cheat, man.
Yes, he does.
I just moved the board around.
Oh, okay. All right, little finger. Okay. The next one is Brienne. I think she will make it to the end. Brienne is strong. She's resilient.
Yeah.
She's definitely not going out before she knows that Sansa or Arya is safe.
Yeah.
See, I think she dies. I think my earlier guess is that both Sansa and Arya are alive. Brienne dies to ensure that they both live.
She ends up keeping her whole.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, I kind of want to see her go with my Wilding boy, and go out there and
Tormund?
and
Yeah.
just leave and go do their thing in some forest or something. And just have a whole bunch of big kids.
Oh, that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Just have a bunch of big kids. Man. The kid come out like 17 or something. You know, some ridiculous size.
Okay.
That's exactly the hope. That's the dream, right?
Why they have Podrick on here?
Podrick has become instrumental.
I mean, he goes the way Tyrion goes. Like,
No,
Tyrion,
he doesn't. He hasn't been with Tyrion since season 5.
I know, but I'm saying I feel like if he dies, Tyrion he dies too.
4.
It's like almost like they they
Okay.
together.
Well, he's with Brienne now,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I can see Podrick making it, just because he's such like your unexpected hero.
You think he could be like a lord or something? Maybe like
Yeah.
Podrick the Lord.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I see him. I don't know. Maybe he could be the Lord of Winterfell. I
That would be
don't know.
That would be funny.
But
That'd actually be hilarious.
yeah,
Like,
but
like a
he
lord.
has made his way through with a whole lot of luck, and now he's got some skill too.
See, I feel like he's so liked, he's gonna die, just because he's exactly the type of character whose death would incite a more major character's actions or response.
Oh, because of him getting been up.
Yeah, so my vote is that he dies, just because I think he's going to be much more of a climactic death We
But
we know it's going to last 7 episodes.
But
It's
who
gonna be-
cares that much in the series about Pod? I know we do. I know the audience does. But who on the series really cares that much? Like, oh my God, Podrick gone. We gotta
Well, I feel like
avenge
Tyrion
him.
would have some type of effect on it. Brienne would also have an effect on his death. I mean, I think he's not. I don't say instrumental, but I think he's important enough to enough people where his death will be felt by several of the main characters. So you eliminate him, and even if they overstate his death in the series or in the episode, it could be reasonable enough to allow his death to set up a chain of reactions, to have somebody instrumental change their alliances or allegiance or
Because of what it is.
exactly. Yeah.
That's a good point. That makes sense. I like that. That's a good point. What about we got Cersei next?
Dead.
Cersei gone.
Cersei gone.
There's any justice in the
Have
world.
y'all heard that
Cersei
crazy
died.
theory that somebody thinks that she's gonna marry the Night King or something?
I have heard that, and
Yeah,
that's
I'm
really
like, what?
stupid.
If they do that, man, let's throw this TV show away.
Yeah, that would
That
just be so silly.
That sounds like some lost last episode.
Yeah, that's the Sopranos ending right there.
Yeah. Like, they gonna marry together and then they gonna have ice babies.
Because what does the Ice King need her for?
He don't need her. He don't want her. He don't want.
Why would he even need her?
He don't need none of that.
That's not how you create progeny. He just needs babies.
Mhm. Yeah, he's not to have that at all. So
That brings up a good point. Where are the babies now?
They keep creating them.
Yeah, but where are they?
I mean, they I think they grow fast.
That's what I thought. too.
Really? Okay,
they
so
grow fast.
I've been reading a couple things that said the babies don't grow faster than like humans.
Oh, really? I thought they grew fast.
Really? Like, what is that based on though?
I mean, because of the fact that he has gained so many people so fast.
And what
But-
do they eat?
They eat. They don't need to eat.
Right. So why would they need to grow slower if they don't have to consume anything?
Yeah, like they could just
Right.
grow up. I ain't say it's like tomorrow. It's like, oh, Chris, you fully grown now. Maybe it takes a little time for. I mean, I don't know how long, but it seems like he got a lot of people pretty fast in his camp. And I know Castor was doing a whole bunch of that, but still, he got a lot of them. And some of them cats look like they've been through the fights, so they've been there for a while, is what I feel like.
Right.
Well, but some of them were killed within, since we've been seeing the series.
Mm-hmm.
So within the last 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
So how fast are they growing?
I don't know, man. And he's still getting kids though. They were showing him still changing babies around.
That's an interesting question. So how, from the time the series started to now, how much actual time has transpired?
Yeah. And it seems like it's going on, like it's just going with regular time. I think it's been said, like, look at how old Bran is. He was 10 at the time. So he's, when the series started, he's probably about 17, 18 now. So I don't think they're fast forwarding time at all.
I'm looking up now. That's a good question though. How much actual time? I mean,
Yeah,
it's. I think it may be as long as we've been watching it.
Yeah, I think so. Because Catelyn said during the episode, like in season 1, where
They said
he
it's
had
six. They said 6 years.
6
5 to
years.
6 years.
Okay, yeah, because in that episode, Ned was having Bran watch him behead. I can't even remember who it was at this point, and Catelyn said, 10 is far too young. So
Yeah.
It was the first guy to see a White Walker who left the Night's Watch and ran
And
back
ran away.
south.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
And
right.
he told Ned about the White Walkers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's saying between 5 and 6 years.
All right. So y'all are saying we got real far off this. So we were on Cersei.
Yeah.
Okay, we all said Cersei's gonna die, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta let us pay that off.
Yeah, that would be justice for everybody who watched the series. Jorah. I think Jorah's gonna go. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I think you'll get the grayscale coming back or something crazy.
I don't know. That's not necessary. There's so many other relevant ways for him to die. Why bring grayscale back?
And that's
He
the
could
thing.
go out in a blaze of glory, like I'm finna die in a minute. Just come back.
But that's the
He's
thing.
gonna lift up his thing and the grayscales come back.
But that's the thing. That's why I feel he's gonna die, because he's had his soldier's moment. He's had his nobility moment. He's had his moment of redemption. Like, his story is really over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
he honestly could die in the first episode.
yeah, I do too. I
Yeah,
agree with that.
He's already had his redemption story.
Right, he's
And so
already
it doesn't-
done it, right.
him existing and surviving doesn't really serve any other purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good point.
Other than to get, I mean, he really wants to get Dany all the way there. I could see him making it through a few episodes, but he's gonna die.
Next up, the Hound.
The Hound. I don't know. And this goes along with another theory that Scott and I were talking about before we started. That the Hound is a warg, and that he is gonna play a more critical part in the war. And one of the theories that I was listening to talked about how the Hound was so connected to his horse, and like he was warging with his horse, like even if he didn't know it. And so he has the same ability that, that Bran has to warg through animals. And then he also now has like this, renewed energy or power or whatever through the Brotherhood of, I keep calling it the Brotherhood Without Borders. That is not what it's called. The Brotherhood of Banners, is that what it is?
Let's call it the Dipset.
The Dipsets? Okay, the Dipsets. Yeah, but I mean, he has this energy now and spirituality through them that I think he could end up tapping into whatever this warg power may be.
I mean, they said he could look through the fire and all that. And he saw my destiny.
Yeah. So he's seeing things too.
And that's the thing. And he was also introduced as this faithless character. So he didn't believe in anything. He didn't believe in any king. He didn't believe in any country. He just was a sellsword. All he believed in was his revenge against his brother. And then now he's entwined and entangled with this really militant faith group that's required him.
Just go around and just mess with people. That's
exactly. And it was I forget the character's name, but when he became tried to live the simple life, and
the priest that came from
the priest.
What was he from? What TV show? He's from something else.
He's on American Gods.
The main guy that plays the main guy.
Exactly, the character that plays on American Gods. But he restored his faith, and so it actually brought him back into violence, trying to redeem and get revenge for that priest's death. And then now he's with the Brotherhood and the Dipset. Yeah. And so he's he's brought back he's been brought back into the fold of faith. I feel like I'm hoping and wishing for the Clegane Bowl to happen, but I feel like his story's also over. He's been redeemed. So
you
with
think
faith.
the Hound is down?
Yeah, I think the Hound is down.
Okay, I don't think I actually answered the question. I think the Hound is he's gonna die, but I think it's gonna be later in the season.
And I wonder if all this, if anything many people gonna die, it's just that they just set us up because we always think that everybody gonna die, but everybody don't die. It's just that people just don't be in fun situations at the end of the season. Like,
it's a lot of fallen soldiers over these last 7 years.
Yeah, but I mean, but it's gonna be a lot of soldiers in one season to go down because everybody act like it's only 2 people gonna survive, like it's Highlander. But I think the Hound is gonna die though.
Okay.
He's got to go up against the Mountain, man. The Mountain is not even a real person no more.
Right.
You gonna have to fight him. That dude's 8 feet tall. You know, it's not gonna be pretty.
Yeah, I don't see there's a way that the Hound could beat the Mountain. I feel like he could die. They could both die. He could end in a draw. But I don't see how he can.
I think Arya's gonna help him out. Though.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna be almost gonna get killed or somebody, and she'll come back, stab him with the neck with a little dagger, but he's still gonna die because from having mortal wounds from the battle, and he'll be give a nice little speech.
Yeah, I think Arya is definitely going to kill the Mountain. And I was reading another fan theory that the Mountain's head has been replaced with Robb Stark's head.
What?
Yeah, and that because they haven't revealed his face yet.
Right? No, he's under the helmet.
And they did cut off, Robb Stark's head and replace it with a direwolf. They never said what they did with his head. And that
Robb Stark's head
is on the Mountain now. I don't know why they would need to do that, but.
Maybe? Because his head was already in
Ned's. I thought they finally gave Ned's head back to Catelyn. Like they shipped it to her, so she had it. But they never said what they did with Robb's head.
Right, because they put on top of a direwolf.
They put the direwolf's head on top of Robb's body.
Right.
And so Robb's head being on the Mountain's body is going to distract Arya. And I mean, I even read something so far as to say that she was going to get one of her arms chopped off, and this is from some sort of foreshadowing in the book, and I didn't read the book, so I don't know. But she's eventually going to throw the dagger into another hand and kill the Mountain with a dagger.
But she's going to see that it's Robb.
But she'll see Robb's head, yeah.
Wow. That's
a serious theory.
That's a
it is, yeah.
That's a serious theory.
Yeah.
Man,
it would be interesting.
These fan theories is just as good as this stuff, man. Tormund.
I can see Tormund making it to the end. And I could see him becoming, the hand of a king. Now, let's say that John
What
were
kind of
to
hand
make.
is this?
I know.
This is
I
a
could see
wild-ass hand
it would
you
be a
got.
wild ass hand, but
you finna start the whole Game of Thrones over. He the hand.
yeah, no. I mean, I could see him. Well, maybe not the hand. But no. Anyway, so I think that Tormund is gonna make it to the end.
Yeah, he been through too much, man.
He has.
I mean, he has to be the whatever.
Cause how many wildlings are left?
Not a lot, but that's kind of my position. I feel like whatever happens, since the wall is now broken, the wildlings at least settle in the north.
Yeah.
With Winterfell, and he's the de facto leader of the wildlings.
Yeah.
So, I feel like he survives, or at least
Okay.
I'm hoping for it.
Yeah.
John.
John's out. John's dying. He's already here on borrowed time.
Damn, I was gonna put my man. Damn, John. Yeah, John is out of there, man.
You agree?
He's the stamp is sealed, signed, sealed, and delivered.
All right, so we're
he's out of there.
unanimous on that.
Daenerys.
Dead.
Wow.
Yeah,
Both
she's
of them
dead.
died, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
died.
she's. This is another question that's going to come up later on in this game, but she's going to die in childbirth.
Because she was out there, he said she couldn't have children again.
No, that's not what the witch said.
It says
The witch said that Khal Drogo would return when she was going to be pregnant again. I can't remember what the exact words were. So the witch already predicted that she would be with child again.
Oh wow.
But all Targaryens have been dying in childbirth.
I mean, I agree with that. I just feel like Tyrion's a Targaryen, and Jon's a Targaryen, and so we kill those two. Tyrion survives,
And he's the man.
right? And I think that's why we haven't had confirmation of his Targaryen bloodline.
I mean that because that there is people that do believe that Tywin really didn't fuck with the king because he was messing with his wife.
Yeah.
And he specifically said, "You're no son of mine."
Yeah.
And
But then he also goes on later on before Tyrion's about to kill him and said, you are my son. So,
Well,
I
he
mean, it
said
could
that
go
we had a
both
crossbow
ways.
in the
Yeah.
shoulder.
You kind of
Yeah.
sit up and be like, oh man.
You catch me banging your chick and I get a
Yeah.
crossbow
Yeah.
and the shit. I mean, people are prone to lie.
Yeah. Last up, Theon.
Theon.
Oh, nice.
You know what? I think Theon, I feel the same way I feel about Theon that I do about Podrick. And I don't know if Theon has gotten his full redemption story
Yeah,
yet.
he's got to live. He got to get his redemption.
Yeah. I see Theon making it.
I mean, I feel like his redemption story is just saving his sister, and then he dies. He's
Yara,
cockless.
yeah.
He's friendless.
You said he's not.
Yeah,
No,
he's not this.
Okay. Cockless and friendless. That is really sad.
I mean,
I think he still has a friend in Sansa. They're parting with him. She hugged him and was, thankful for him saving her from
being
Ramsay.
raped and beat.
Right, but I
like-
mean, but she told him. I can't remember what her words were, but she was like, I forgive you. Like all is forgiven on my end.
And so maybe Sansa forgives him, but
Yeah.
who else would?
Right.
Like, I mean, he can't stop. He can't save everyone from being raped and beaten.
I mean, he jumped. Where did we last see him? Jumping off that boat?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's, yeah.
Well, no, he survived. He went back to the Iron.
Yeah.
Okay, he went back to the Iron Islands. Okay.
And they talked about if you really tried your best, you would have died there.
Yeah. Okay, I remember now. Yeah. I mean, he doesn't have a penis anymore. His testosterone is depleted.
Yeah.
He's scared. He's been through a lot.
Unless he's going to join the Unsullied.
I mean, he could.
He ain't cheating for that.
No, he doesn't. He don't know how to
that's the
fight.
Division of Islam. We've already established that. And I don't think that they let the White Devils into the. I haven't seen the White Devil be a part of the Unsullied.
Oh my.
That's what I'm saying. I ain't seen one white person being Unsullied. I see all brothers.
That is true.
Next up, the Clegane Bowl. Does it happen or does not? It says, does it happen or does it?
It has to happen.
I think it happens. It does have to happen.
It has to happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's where the Hound dies, though. I think that. Well, I don't know. It could be. It could be where the Hound dies. Does it happen early in the season or later?
I say later.
This
I-
gotta be later because they're finna fight the White Walkers. I feel like
Right.
first. That's the first. First things first is that. Unless Cersei's finna be on some gangster stuff and try to hit them in their back.
I think
and
this
they
is.
fighting on two fronts.
I think it's going to be going on simultaneously.
That they fighting on two fronts.
Yeah.
That would be ill as fuck.
Oh
Fight on-
yeah.
fight on two
Yeah.
fronts.
They only have 6 episodes. We don't have enough time.
Yeah,
Sorry,
no.
seven.
And they said what? No, it's 6.
Six.
And they said what episode 3 is it 3 or 4 that has going? It's got double the budget of the Battle of the Bastards for the battle.
Yeah, I
scene.
have
All of it
heard
is a
that
battle scene.
that's going to be an epic episode in terms of
So
some
that
sort
would make
of fight.
sense if you would, only way you could do it and make a dope battle scene is if some people had to fight on two fronts.
Mm-hmm.
You fighting the Walt Walkers on this side and other side here.
I just can't.
Okay.
All right. Next one, Raven. Go. You take the next one.
Did we all say Clegane Bowl happens?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Will there be a wedding this season?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think Tyrion and Sansa get remarried. I think that's the wedding we get.
But they already. Oh, you saying like a real one? They could really like consummate this stuff, right?
Yeah.
She is not consummating shit with Tyrion.
I think she would.
I don't know. She's been raped and already wasn't feeling him. I don't think so.
But here's the thing, though. You look at from this perspective.
Mm-hmm.
How great is Tyrion if your last husband was Ramses?
Ramses, like the Egyptian Ramses.
Ramsey Bolton was your last husband.
Oh.
Like, everybody's great after that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
Ramsey lowered the bar of what she expected.
This is true. And then
Tyrion
Joffrey
was the other option.
Oh my God! Yeah, Sansa has been through it. I'm just saying, like her sex drive, she might like not want to procreate with anybody at
Which
this
is
point.
cool. She can let Tyrion go do his whore thing.
Yeah,
You know,
It's
you
all
got to be in
good.
the streets anyway.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It's a
You
win-win.
love to be in these streets. And you're like, what? You don't want to do nothing?
yeah.
You can leave and go drink and
He's
go
not
to the
interested in
bar,
power. She could be the seat of power.
and
I
he
mean,
could be in them streets.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, like it actually would work for both of them.
His first thing probably as the king would be who's taking over Baelish's whorehouses. Like,
Right.
we need to get that back in order.
Got it.
That's the first thing we got to get going. That's my first thing as the new king is to get these whorehouses.
I
going.
like to think that Tyrion has matured, but
Not at all.
okay.
Yeah. No.
Oh wow.
Did you see him when he
Okay.
was a Marine and then he still was in the whorehouse?
Because one has nothing to do with the other. The whorehouse
I mean, he
has
had
nothing to do with
he had
nothing.
deep reflections
Yeah.
outside the
Yeah,
whorehouse,
yeah, the
but he
whorehouse
still was
is
there
whorehouse.
though.
Right.
Fair
I just remember he was
enough.
standing on the thing and Varys was waiting for him like, oh wow, you just had to do this, huh?
The whorehouse was ancient days masseuses.
Right.
All right.
Going to the masseuse in the manicure spot. Go to the whorehouse. You just relax.
Crazy. Daryl, wedding or no?
Yeah, I'm going to a wedding. It's gonna be some kind of wedding. We
Who?
may not like the wedding, though, I think.
Who do you think it'll be?
I don't know, man. I could see it being something crazy, man. Like, old girl from the Iron Islands. I can't remember.
Y'all.
Yara?
Or somebody random. That just for everybody can be around and hang out, just for like an event, not necessarily like for a power thing, but like an event power thing.
Where do we have time for that?
They said it's supposed to be bittersweet at the end.
But she
Okay.
has to marry a woman. She's a lesbian.
She don't have to. They don't really condone that in that world.
I mean, she's quite confirmed as a lesbian.
No.
She
I'm fine.
is.
I'm talking about for the structure of power and how it goes. It ain't. She can't marry a woman.
Okay.
The way they run it. I'm just saying.
The wedding that I foresee is Gendry and Arya. He already told her he was marrying her.
See, I don't think Arya about that married life.
I don't think she is either.
Look, she
Scott
can
says that he
look,
thinks she's a lesbian, but I
I
don't.
don't think she's that necessarily. I just think she just don't want. She just like if she like I ain't gonna marry. You can roll with me.
Well, I think
You
once
can be
she has
down.
crossed everybody off her list, she can be at peace. And he told her, he was like, "You're gonna be my lady."
Right, but she's been asexual to this. In an over-sex show, she's been asexual this entire
Because
show.
she has been focused on revenge. Like once she satisfies that and crosses everybody off her list, there's a soft spot there. She developed a soft spot for the Hound. So
You
she,
think so? She's
yeah,
not
she
gonna
has.
die.
No. When she
let
was,
her bleed out.
she did. No, she did, and she admitted it when she was in the House of the Many-Faced Gods, and he kept asking her those questions, and every time like she wouldn't answer it honestly, he would hit her. And like one of the questions he asked her was like whether or not she hated the Hound, and she was like, "Yes, I did hate him. I killed him," and he hit her. And like eventually, she had finally admitted like she was conflicted about how she felt about him. She could have stabbed him in the heart. She didn't.
Yeah.
Right, but she left him there to die. Like my impression of that scene wasn't that she did it because I don't want to kill you and I feel bad about it. It was I hate you and I want you to sit here and suffer as I walk away.
I kind of looked at, I could see how you see it that way. I kind of looked at it as like she couldn't bring herself to do it at that point. Not that she knew like one way or the other, like he's going to suffer. So this is the way for me to like really get back at you. But I mean, she did admit like that she was conflicted about it.
All right. How many dragons, hot or cold, remain at the end?
One.
I agree with
But I
that.
think there's eggs that'll be there.
How?
They're asexual. They can actually produce eggs and all they need to. It's just like certain amphibians that can produce and change sex depending on what the environment is. Those dragons can do.
Is that something that came out in the book, or is this your general dragon knowledge?
No. This is in the book.
Okay.
This is in the books. That's why they wanted to try to kill them all out, because they knew that like if there's one alive, they can reproduce.
Okay.
Yeah, they can reproduce on their own. That's why everybody thinks Drogon's going to have a child. Because Drogon's the biggest one, you know what I'm saying? He'll survive probably, and he can produce another big dude.
What about the dragon that's becoming a White Walker?
I think that one's gone.
Yeah, I think that was.
She's
really
going to have a
gone,
hard
too.
time killing it.
Yeah,
She
it
gonna-
has to die.
Yeah, it's already dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, but it has to be destroyed.
Yeah.
That's not the kind. It's hard enough to have dragons in this world. You can't.
Oh,
Have
they
ice
over
dragon.
they like acting like they on a Family Feud when you like finna steal the game, and it's like, oh no, they ain't getting number 4.
Right.
They ain't getting number 4. So go ahead, y'all, you jump on in.
No, I'm just trying to figure out, like, how is it that you guys think it's destroyed already, and at the end is when it was revealed that the White Walker brought it back to life as a White Walker?
We're talking about end of the show.
Yeah, end of the show.
End of
What's
show.
gonna happen? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I was like, see, it's like, oh man.
All the Kool-Aid on
Yeah,
the
look,
flag.
they was all whispering over there, huddled up. It was all huddled up like the Johnson family. Y'all got it wrong.
Good answer. Good
Yeah,
answer.
they get it. I don't think the other one was. I ain't like him anyway. That third dragon could have gone anyway.
What?
Which one?
The
Rhaegar?
little
Which
one.
one?
The little one.
The little one?
Viserion or
What
whatever.
didn't you like about him?
He was always running around, not staying in formation.
What are you
know what I'm
talking
saying?
about?
Go
What?
back and
He's a
look.
dragon. Let him be
Yeah.
independent.
No, we don't need that. We need somebody
Dragons
orders.
in
Drogon
nature.
already a wild card. Drogon already a wild card. He out here killing random farmers. We already got one dude that's crazy. We can't have everybody be off the books.
Yeah, Drogon don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's already one dude with
Yeah.
a crew. It's like it's
The
a crew of
dragon
friends.
is doing
If you have a
dragon
crew,
things.
yeah, but if you have a crew of friends, everybody can't be the wild card. You have to more be like, you know what, dang, a Marquise man, he be wilding. We all can't be wilding. Somebody got to play a different role.
Why is it Marquise?
Marquise. be
Apologies to all the Marquises out
wilding.
there.
Well, shout out to my friend Marquise. He just got out of jail. So that's
Oh God. All right. Next question. I think we all said one on the dragon.
yeah.
Okay. Who kills Cersei? Jamie.
Jamie, yeah.
Other.
Other. Who's your other?
It has to
she
be
dies in
Tyrion.
childbirth too.
The prophecy says that her younger brother kills her, and everything else in her
Right.
prophecies come true.
Yes,
It says a younger sibling. It didn't say. That's the thing though. People
No,
think it's.
the Valerian.
I know, but people they said it. They said it could be misconstrued in the interpretation of people thinking that it means a younger.
Let's go with that interpretation. Who are the other siblings
She
out
doesn't have any
there?
other siblings.
She had a child with her brother.
That's
So
not,
it's
those
not
are not her
siblings.
I
siblings.
know, but I mean, it's still a sibling.
No, it's not.
It's not a
Siblings
sibling.
Are,
They're
siblings are a
equal.
common
That
parent.
would be her daughter, niece, but not a sibling.
How do you even say it? Then?
That's what it
I know
would-
it is though. Did she say it was a girl?
Huh?
Did she say she knew the sex?
No, she
No.
didn't. I'm just saying that's what it would be if she
But
had
I
a
just think it
daughter.
could be in childbirth too, though, where she's just like, "Yo, the baby's dead inside of me. I'm like dying right now.
I don't
So
think
I'm
so.
gonna wild out.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
think
well,
that
I'm
baby
gonna
gets
wild out.
born.
And then
I don't think that baby
Cersei.
gets born at all.
Okay, Cersei deserves a much more dramatic ending than that.
What?
It's
That's
not.
too
It's not gonna be like,
peaceful,
oh, I'm having this baby. I'm gone. No, somebody is killing her.
I'm saying I think it's a thing of like
She may
when she
choke the
knows she's
baby on the
dying.
way out.
It can only be one.
That would be ill as fuck.
If she choked the baby on the way.
Yes, that would be, yes, that would be ill as
Speak
hell.
on it.
That she. Okay.
Shay's
Hold, we
got
got family
something.
feud over
Shay's
here.
got
We
something.
got family feud.
No, I'm saying, what about because they made it seem like the son that she thought was dead, but they make it seem like he's not really dead.
Which one, Joffrey or Tommen?
Tommen is dead. He jumped off the top of a
Yeah,
building.
he's
Yeah. And we saw Joffrey's brain explode through his nose, so he's dead.
Is there another one?
I thought there was.
The Johnson family, loses again.
Yeah, her
Well, that's
children,
Johnson family, boy.
her children are confirmed dead.
No. Yeah.
That dude straight up jumped out a window like at the top of the arch.
Right.
It's like getting out the arch and just saying like I'm just gonna fall off.
Long drop, fast stop.
Like you said, they never
And he went out. He went out like
actually never.
straight down.
Oh, she didn't get to go to her daughter's funeral. That's what you're talking about.
And her daughter also died. Her
Yeah, no,
daughter
she was
died
dead.
by the same poison. I forget the name
We
of
know
it.
about that.
That she
Lipstick
gets to the
poison.
sun. The
Yeah.
lipstick poison by the Daughters of the Sand.
Yeah.
She killed them with
Yeah.
on the way back.
Right. Yeah, the
Yeah.
sand snakes killed, or the mom killed her.
I do hope. I mean, I don't know if this is on the list or not, but I really do hope that we see this the mom of the sand snakes one last time and see her decaying daughter's body. And,
She's sitting there looking.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause
I do
she's
wanna
just
see
down
that.
there
It's
with,
just
Yeah.
down there,
just
right.
in
And I
that
can see
dungeon
Cersei
there.
still feeding her just to keep her alive, just
Right.
to see that, like just a little bit, just enough.
Also the
You get like
silent,
one meal a week.
also the silent septum.
Yeah.
I want to see her too after all what
Yeah.
the mountain did to her.
Well, I mean, so
Oh,
what if the
Potion.
what? Because I have also read that the White Walkers are going to make it to King's Landing. What if he gets there and raises up some of these bodies too that have not been burned?
I mean, people think Khal Drogo is gonna get raised.
If
Oh,
the
Khal
White
Drogo
Walkers-
is coming back. We'll get there in a second.
If the White Walkers make it to King's Landing,
Johnson
there's-
family should be quiet.
There's
Johnson
no
family.
happy. Like there's no way the White Walkers make it to King's Landing and humanity survives. Like that's just the death. Like the end of the series is going to be the Ice King, the Night's King, sitting on the Iron Throne. There's no way.
He's the only one in Silver Throne. He
Yeah,
just
right. He's just gonna do. He's gonna take a
Yeah.
break. Before he goes. There's no way that humanity survives.
There's no way he can get the King's Landing.
Yeah, they have to stop him at the north.
All right. So who did you say killed Cersei?
Other.
Other. But you're not naming that other.
No, I just think it's gonna be some other.
Okay, so then
Future
just so
player.
we're clear, because Daryl likes to cheat. The people on this list that kill Cersei are Arya, Sansa, Jaime, Tyrion, and Daenerys. Daryl is saying it's going to be someone other than those 5 people who killed
I'll
Cersei.
even tell you. I think it's gonna be somebody from the Gold Company.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Okay.
That's more
interesting.
plausible than a child. Is she? I don't
Yeah,
think
I
she's
mean-
pregnant with.
You know, I think somebody from the Gold Company because I think her paper ain't gonna be right, and you know your paper ain't right.
They
better
foreclose on your life.
There's a lot of people who do it, though.
I mean, Gold Company / the Iron Bank because she gonna owe somebody some paper either way is what I'm saying.
That's a good transition into the next question. Though, is Cersei for real pregnant?
See, I was wondering if she's pregnant for real or not too. Or is it one of the things when you were the girl back in the day? You know I'm pregnant, right? You're like, damn, for real? And then she lied and stuff to you. I'm the only one that's happened to. Everybody's looking at me like, I'm the only one that's happened to in this world.
Oh my
You
god!
want me to lie about a pregnancy on you? Okay, that's just me. All right.
I would say this.
Shout out to my best friend. It happened to him as well.
More sure
God.
than I am about whether she's pregnant.
Be
or
safe,
not.
wrap
I'm
it
sure
up.
that whatever's her belly does not ever get born.
I'm sorry, what?
I said I don't know whether she's pregnant or not. I do know that whatever's in her belly does not get born because that was under the problem.
Yeah.
Whatever it's not gonna happen.
Exactly. Yeah. Whether
Yeah.
it's just seeded cum or gas, like it's not coming
Right.
out.
Yeah, the prophecy did say she was only going to have 3 children. So she's definitely not giving
Yeah.
birth to a live child. I don't know if I believe she's pregnant or if she is. I don't believe it's Jamie's. She's been with that Frankenstein man whose name I cannot remember.
It's my Clyburn.
Yeah, yes. Clyburn?
Clyburn.
Whatever.
Cute. Clyburn.
Okay, I don't know. You be mispronouncing names. I
It's all
can't
good,
trust
it's all
you.
good.
But anyway, I'm just gonna call him Frankenstein. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to inject her with something or whatever, or put something in her.
She asked for some kind of herb or something.
Right?
something
Yeah,
to
that he
save the
created whatever is growing in her belly, and that it's not actually Jamie's
Now,
child.
I have a question.
Sure.
Do we think the Night King could raise a stillborn baby in a belly?
Oh my goodness gracious, that's interesting.
Oh, so you so you say that she'll die from the 19 raising the baby up, the dead baby in her?
Oh my god,
Prophecy still works.
This is like Alien.
that's too much.
Prophecy works.
That's when it starts.
Yeah. Wow.
Now it's turned into a parody. I don't like it no more. If that happens. Okay.
That's like the Night King marrying her.
Okay.
That's on the same list that the Night King married her.
All right. That's another good transition into another one. Is Dany pregnant?
Not yet.
I don't think so.
I think she is. I think she is.
She's real fertile then. Damn, I only hit one time.
Well,
I don't think,
and all that's all it takes. We learned that in health
I
class.
don't think.
I learned that too
think
from the
John's
girl that
sperm-
lied to me about saying she was pregnant.
But I don't think John's sperm work no more. If you come back from the dead and walk around,
Okay.
you have to procreate.
That's
I'm
okay.
saying, like, This is Dracula rules, right? You know, like Dracula can't have procreate. Like Dracula can't procreate.
Like he had chemotherapy to kill sperm.
Can't keep that. Yeah, that's not that way.
Okay, but John is walking around doing all kinds of stuff after being brought back from the dead.
Yeah, that's enough.
So
they say if you come back, you don't come back the same every time. You lose a percentage of yourself.
That's fine, but I think he still got his penis and his sperm, and I think he got Danny pregnant. But okay, so whether you think it's John or not, do you think Danny is pregnant or she will be pregnant?
No.
No? Why not?
I just think it's everybody thinks that it is. I'm just gonna go this guy out there.
The reason. So I have two reasons. I believe that she is infertile now, but I also believe that since we have, so I believe that Tyrion is also a Targaryen. So we have Dany, we have Jon, and we have Tyrion being Targaryens. I feel like we don't need her to be able to have children in order to keep that Targaryen bloodline. We have two other options. So I think it.
And the Gold Company.
Yeah,
okay.
I think it's just too lazy for her particularly to be pregnant.
Because shout out to my book readers. They're combining the character of John Connington into this character from the Gold Company.
Okay.
That's a Targaryen too in the books.
Right.
I did hear that there was a fourth Targaryen.
Yeah, and they're combining him as one of the Gold Company people.
That's fine, but I believe that she's pregnant because of the witch's prophecy. So the witch said that Khal Drogo would return when the sun rises in the west and sets in the east, when the seas go dry and mountains blow in the wind like leaves.
Is she the same woman though?
Hold on.
And the last line is, when your womb quickens again and you bear a living child, then he will return and not before. So she is going to have a baby, and nobody ever told her that she was infertile.
But all those other things are impossible, though. The sun doesn't
So
rise.
the heart and the Horus is infertile then, because he was tapping it.
But also, the sun doesn't rise in the west and set in the east, though.
Isn't that when winter is?
No.
It's not? Oh, okay. When the seas go dry and the mountains blow in the wind like leaves. So, I mean, a lot of these things are metaphorical.
Right, but metaphorically, things that don't happen.
I thought the whole point was like you're never going to.
Right, yeah. They're metaphorically things that don't happen. The sun doesn't rise in the west and set in the east. It rises in the east and sets in the west.
The other thing that makes me think of it is that Jason Momoa posted on his Instagram page that he was in Ireland with the directors. So he was on set doing something, and it very well could have been him. He was filming Aquaman in Ireland.
No, I'm just saying Aquaman over there. Just giving up goods.
So I mean, maybe he was filming a flashback scene or something, but I'll take another glass as well. But I do believe.
Marky.
All right, the Johnson family is providing wine for this episode. But no, so I understand, but I think that I think she's pregnant.
It'd be interesting. I mean, incest is a common thing.
It absolutely is. Aren't the Targaryens like the beginning of the bloodline, brother and sister?
Yeah, he married two of his. There's a third or fourth in that married two of his sisters.
Yeah, so incest is not uncommon on this show.
That was really the Seven Septums. That was a really controversial thing with those Seven Septums.
When he had the two wives, that was his sisters.
Yeah,
and he was like a gangster king too, though. He was like on point. Next up is Bran the Night King. I think Bran may have started all this though.
Yeah,
I think he started it.
It's a theory that they think the Night King was hearing him talking to him, and he basically started it from the future,
right.
and started all this because the Night King wasn't like really. He was going crazy because he was hearing Bran talking to him.
So there's two things. There was a flashback when we saw the Children of the Forest create the Night King.
Yeah, we saw him.
And the character, I think it was the same actor.
It's the same actor that's playing.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it is.
Isn't it the same guy that plays Owen from Grey's Anatomy?
Hang on. I looked this up the other day. He's mostly a stunt actor, so I don't think that he's. I don't think he's an actor that usually has speaking lines.
But so I feel like he does. That actor doesn't look enough like Bran, I think, to make me think he's the Night King. I do feel like Bran's role will set in motion the creation of the Night King, whether he is directly him or not. I do think that the Brandon Stark we see now is also Bran the Builder and all the Brandon Stark.
It's just a generational thing.
Yeah, I do believe he's them. I don't know if he's the Night King just because that actor doesn't look enough like Brandon that we see today to make me believe it. But I do think that theory, like I said, I feel like he plays an important role in his creation.
But you don't think that he is the Night King, the per se, the actual Night King.
Right, and this has nothing to do with the books or the show itself. It has to do with Hollywood. I watched Star Trek Discovery, so the torchbearer, the Klingon torchbearer, wound up being the same actor, and they gave him a different name, and they
flipped it around.
Exactly. So I feel like Hollywood would have come up with a more clever way to make that happen. We would have been able to pick up on.
Like it had been his the guy that's playing Bran's brother playing the Night King, and you'd be like, I don't even know the dude, and you think it's and you feel that what that's his blood brother, that's his older brother playing the Night King.
Exactly. Like they did something with Black Panther, right? Like T'Challa and his father were actually father and son.
Right.
And Forrest Whitaker.
You're right.
So I feel like they would have done something a little bit more clever to kind of make that tie tighter. They just have two random different people and just say, hey, you're the same guy later on. Like one guy's blonde and one guy's is a brunette. That's a huge difference, I think. So.
Okay, yeah. So the actor's name is Vladimir Ferdo-Ferdik. And the only other thing that I've seen that he was in was Prometheus.
Was he a stunt person or
just... he was a mercenary, so
we can't talk about Prometheus on this podcast.
Okay.
I hate that one.
It's a bad
it could have been so much better. But I mean, he was one of the mercenaries, so he not a character with speaking lines. Yeah, and I'm not familiar with any of these other films he was in, but he was not in whatever you said you thought you saw. Grey's Anatomy, no. That's not the same person. Yeah, I don't think Bran is the Night King, and it's mainly because I can't wrap my head around it. Him being both a three-eyed raven and the Night King. Like, you can't be everything.
Yeah, to see Jane Smith go out like
that. But I do believe that he set everything in motion.
Next up, it says Brienne chooses Tormund, Jaime, or neither.
I think, there's going to be so much seriousness and death in this season that it could provide some good comic relief to the audience to make Brienne and Tormund hook up. I think that would make everybody happy.
What about if she got both of them, though?
I really don't.
Like a
she maybe kissed both of them, but chooses one.
I don't think so. This
where they all just have an orgy together.
This season does not have room for a love triangle between Brienne, Tormund, and Jaime.
We got an hour and a half per episode.
I don't think so. And plus, I don't think the connection between Jaime and Brienne is sexual. I think it's one of mutual respect. They were both naked in that tub, and nobody was interested.
I mean, this is the thing, though. Jaime technically, outside of having sex with his sister, is a virgin. He's not had sex with no other woman, but Cersei in his whole life.
And I believe that he genuinely loves Cersei
because he was on the Night's Watch. He couldn't have sex and could not have a partner.
Right. So I don't think his interest in Brienne is sexual. I don't think her interest in him is. I think that they've developed a mutual respect for each other. But I could see her and Tormund hitting it.
So two things. I want Brienne and Tormund to get together in some respect before I think she ultimately dies. But however, to your statement that he was on the Night's Watch, if you were willing to have sex with your sister, I feel like you're willing to break the vow of.
No. I just, but I think
he broke that easily.
But I think he doesn't look at it as breaking his vow being with Cersei because he'd already was doing that before they did that. Because the whole thing was the only reason that he became part of the Knights Guard is because the Mad King was mad. Kingsguard, and he was because he didn't want to be because he didn't like his dad. Tywin. He didn't want Tywin to have a good heir to Castle Rock. That's the only reason he did that is out of spite.
No, I get that.
So I'm saying, but I can see him being like, well, I got this, but I ain't gonna mess it up because I don't want to mess up what Pop's got going on. Like he was really loyal to his daddy too. Before we see him, he was loyal to his daddy and loyal to the Lannisters.
Who, Jaime?
I get that.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the reason he.
I don't see him going against the.
Well, that's the reason.
Besides having sex with Cersei, because it's like a thing like I was doing it before I got with y'all, so I'm not gonna.
Right, but he still's crossing the line to have sex with his sister.
I just feel like
he
that's.
He loved her too, though. He loved her in a different level.
I don't think that his mind is even there, for us to make that sort of call. He's in love with Cersei and he's gonna do whatever he needs to do to be with her. But I think that that's a feeling separate and apart from his vows. But, he killed the Mad King to, protect his father. So he definitely has some loyalty to his family. And there's some loyalty. I think that Jaime has a lot of loyalty within him. I think that he's often conflicted.
I have something to say about this that no one's probably ever said before.
What's that?
On this topic. That's so fucking gross.
I think we've acknowledged it. We've gotten used to it on the series, but I think everybody acknowledged it is fucking gross.
Like, yo, I mean, yeah. Yeah.
That's so fucking gross.
Yeah, that's why them kids was all messed up, too.
Tommen was sweet.
Really,
Tommen was slow.
Yeah, he was, right. He didn't get none of this game.
How was he slow? He was young.
But he didn't get none of this game. Some of that stuff, though, you just supposed to know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to take my brother girl.
He got brainwashed.
Yeah.
Oh, she came there and pussy whipped him right away.
No, I would have hit.
Did you
No
even
doubt,
tap
but I ain't
Marjorie?
gonna be with my brother
Did
girl.
Did Tommen tap?
So you would hit, but you ain't
He
gonna be
tapped.
with her.
Right.
What?
He did.
Okay.
What kind of
Well,
sense
okay.
does that make?
Yeah, I would have.
I would have hit, but I ain't gonna be with her because that's my brother.
Yeah, it's different.
I mean, he did.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? He ain't
But
hear
But I ain't gonna fall in love with her.
That's difficult.
God bless his soul. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna marry her.
All right. I'm gonna do it just so I know she did it. So I
Yeah.
can tell my man, yo, she wasn't nothing in the first
Yeah,
place.
you know it's all
Right,
good,
yeah,
man.
you know.
My
Because I couldn't let her have the hat on her if she didn't actually do it. But once she did it, I can go back and say, yo, she did it. So you know,
I
she
can't
did
even do
that. Right. It's over. It's a wrap after that.
Y'all ignorant.
I would have married Mama Tyrell though. I'd be like, Mama Tyrell though.
Oh, she had all the game.
That's what I said. You want to be with a player like me?
She had all the game.
All the game.
Like, I thought Tyrion was clever until she gave Danny that speech about, hey, your hand is a very clever man. I know a lot of clever men. I've outlived them all. I was like, oh shit, I guess Tyrion's not smart.
Yeah, that's when he started losing all the battles though. He started losing all the battles.
She had all the game.
All right, next up. One couple that lives happily ever after.
I already said it. Gendry and Arya. I mean, who else is actually interested in it?
couple.
Yeah. I mean, you could say Danny and John, but both of them are dying.
Sam and Amber Rose.
Oh, yeah. Sam and Gilly could make it. You're right. You're right.
Take like
I mean-
Sam and Tony Braxton.
Well, I'm saying she already got her raised into somebody else's baby. So I mean, what else? I mean, there are no other big bridges to cross. Like no other mountains to climb. He already killed a White Walker for it. He disavowed himself from his family name. He's raised somebody else's baby.
I think he's gonna go back and take his family name over though, because his whole family's wiped out. He is the Lord of Old Town now.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think Sam's the only person who gets a happy ending here.
Sam,
I mean, not like a masseuse happy ending. I mean, like an actual happy ending.
yeah, like a real one.
That's where my brain went.
That's me too.
I guess it could be Sam. I like that one.
You like Sam and Gilly? You gotta come up with your own. We're keeping a point system
Yeah,
here.
that's fine.
Wait.
Drogon and Drogon. Can it work for somebody asexual? If Drogon has a baby, I mean, he has a.
So
egg.
Drogon is gonna find a random dragon.
No, with himself. He's gonna reproduce himself and have an egg. Drogon with Drogon. Happy ever after.
I can't even speak to that. I don't know. I don't know enough about.
This is some
dragons.
ignorant shit. I don't think you get points for
Yes, I
that.
do. Actually, I need to get like triple for that. If that prediction comes live, I need triple for that.
I'm down for that. If you call asexual reproduction on a dragon and also living happily ever after,
Right.
like,
Yeah, how are we
I say 10.
Yeah. How are we defining happily ever after?
He has he actually has the egg, so that means he's with himself.
Okay.
So therefore, he's happily ever after.
I think the happily ever after has to be the egg hatching.
Okay, but if we see the egg, it's like, yo, the dragons are still going to live. It's the impetus that they're going to live still.
I can give you that one. Because the thing is, without Danny to keep him in check, he wilds the fuck out.
Right.
So first order of business is murder Drogon if Danny dies. And we all think Danny dies. I give it to you. I mean,
Okay,
I
fine.
give it to you.
Johnson family, I'll write that down.
Yeah, Johnson family.
I got Gendry and Arya. That's what Raven said. Daryl said Drogon. Who you say, Scott?
Sam and Jilly.
Drogon actually would like that other motherfucking dragon to die because it'd be him anyway. I can just make my own lineage.
Right.
Make my own
He's like the dragon version of a cuckoo.
Yeah, he's like,
Kicking everybody out the nest.
I'm trying to get all y'all small and shit. I've been out in these streets. Y'all ain't been living. Tyrion is Team Lannister, Team Targaryen, or neither?
Neither.
So it depends on how you define it. So in terms of like who he's wanting to win, I think he's Team Dany. In terms of like who his bloodline, if that's the way we're defining it, he's Team Targaryen.
So everybody thinks he's a Targaryen still.
I do.
I do.
Now, I do have a crazy theory though. Before we,
I'm sure you do.
No, my theories are crazy. I've had some of them come to life though, and everybody don't give me props for them.
Like what?
I have to go back in archives.
In the archives.
Yeah.
Because that is where they live, in a place that don't exist.
It exists. It's on the former podcast. Y'all can go in and listen.
In the archives.
Yeah. Archives. Like chives with the arch. I know the word is archives, but it's archives.
Let's clarify
Right.
for the people.
What if Jon, since he came back to life, he can control Viserion though? Because he's been brought. He's technically a white almost because he's been brought back to life. So that would bring the theory that everybody said that all three of them was gonna ride a dragon.
Mm-hmm. So you think saying he can turn him
Not
back?
saying it's gonna happen. I'm just saying that he can maybe ride or control him at some point because he technically is a white. He's been brought back to life.
So here's my thing.
He's just not controlled by the Night King.
He's been brought back to life though, not brought back to Walking Dead.
My thing with Jon is this. I feel like they're going to throw us a wrench because you see how Dany reacted to the dragons the first time. That was comparable to how Tyrion did. There was reservations, but he still pushed through it. Jon was shook the first time he saw a dragon, and he's not overcome his fear of those dragons as of yet.
But you think Tyrion has though?
But I think Tyrion has because
Tyrion always wanted a
Tyrion
dragon.
freed the
He
dragons
studied
was
them.
it Dragon Keep?
Yeah. He took
He's
the pin
the
out
one
of
that
there.
hit the thing though and
Exactly.
let it roll out.
And although there was hesitation and reservation with him, he wasn't afraid of it. But we saw Jon, and honestly, the scariest moment I think we've seen him on the show. He faced death even more confidently than he faced those dragons. Yeah, I mean,
Damn,
yeah.
you said that he's sitting there eating God
Right, exactly.
almost.
Yeah.
He's been out there to Bruce Willis.
Yeah, he ran out the Battle of the Bastards in an
On the
insurmountable odds.
dome.
Right, exactly. But a dragon flew over his head and he hit the ground. So I feel like that was intentional. I feel like thematically and cinematographically, I can't pronounce words tonight.
It's all right.
I feel like they did that
Cinematically.
intentionally. Yeah, cinematically. Thank you. I think they did that intentionally so to show us that he has a different reaction to the dragons than the other two did. And I feel like that fan theory where they're all going to ride dragons is either unlikely or it's going to be a misdirect where they showed us that Jon, has this kind of like how the Hound has a fear of fire that he's going to have to get over. That's the only way I can see Jon actually ride a dragon.
I mean, I don't know if I remember what you're saying, and I remember that scene. I don't know if I perceived it as him being as fearful. It's just like Tyrion grew up loving dragons and wanting a dragon. He asked who was his dad or whoever for a dragon.
Yeah, Tywin.
Yeah, and so him finally getting to see one is like a little boy seeing his childhood fantasy.
And they never really jumped at Tyrion like that. They always kind of was like...
No, they didn't. They when he first came down there, he started the conversation with them about how, I always wanted one of you. And so he kind of warmed up to them. So it was just a little bit different sort of interest in them than Jon has, too.
But, no, and I agree. But I think that's why that's why those scenes are so important because Tyrion isn't he isn't a warrior. He isn't a soldier, and he was able to go through and fight through his fear. At the point in time we see Jon interact with a dragon, he's been brought back from the dead. He's fought the Battle of the Bastards.
He's
killed White Walkers.
Yeah, he's seen all kinds of shit. Yeah, I get what you're
all
saying.
kind of shit at this point in time.
Yeah.
He's been accepted as a full-blooded Stark. So at the moment, he should have been his most confident in himself.
Yeah.
He sees these dragons, and we see him buckle.
Well,
so I feel like that's an important.
Yeah,
I feel like it's an important scene.
Yeah.
Thematically, because we see the first real sign of fear in him when he sees these dragons, and so either it's because a big reveal that that yes, you're right, he is going to ride a dragon, he's going to get over his fear, or it's because they're going to say that's the only thing he's afraid of. because that's the only thing we've seen him afraid of.
Yeah.
I mean, he went by himself. He crossed the wall, went by himself to talk to the free folks. You know, he's fought White Walkers. We've seen him do all these amazing stuff, and he's never shown any type of fear. But in the presence of his own bannermen and, you know, his own guards, a dragon flies over the head, and in the safety, presumably, of the people whose passage that they basically said his passage would be fine, he still buckles in fear. And I think I think that was an important scene because of that respect.
All right. Next up, we have which named character will speak the last line of the series?
Yeah, Scott and I were on the same page with this one. It's going to be Sam.
Agreed.
I was going to say Bran again. Bran the beginning and Bran the ending.
Bran began?
I said Bran is the
for the season. Okay.
I'm saying I was thinking Bran is at the beginning and Bran at the end.
Yeah.
I feel Sam is an old maester, and he ends
he's giving the history.
Yeah.
He's sitting there with it. I can see that.
Yeah.
I just can't do what y'all saying. Man. Do something different.
Okay, well, if I have to pick somebody different, because this was Scott's original thought, I would go with Tyrion then.
Tyrion, okay. That was my other one I would think about. Who ends up on the Iron Throne?
Yeah, I've already said it. I think it's going to be Gendry and Arya.
I say Sam.
Really?
I say
Yes.
On the Iron Throne? I can
On
see
the
them
Iron
maybe run
Throne.
the Winterfell. I can see them wanting to run the Iron Throne.
Sansa and Tyrion. Because
What if I said
Tyrion's the ultimate on
Is Drogon going to answer everything? Drogon with his egg.
I fuck with
Hold
Drogon,
on,
man.
hold on. I want to change my answer. I'm rooting for Drogon.
We need to roll for Drogon, man.
Scott, don't let
Black.
Daryl pull you into this
All
dumb
racial.
shit.
First
all
off,
racial.
I want you to take
None of
1
these
second.
eggs are black.
I want
He's
one of these.
black.
I want you
He's
to
a
take.
black dragon.
I want you
we
to
need
picture
support other black
Drogon.
dragons going out here, man. Support them.
I want you to picture Drogon sitting on the Iron Throne. I just want to see.
Daryl
I
be
want so
ignorant.
someone meme Drogon sitting on the Iron Throne. 'Cause I want to see that now. I want to see the T-shirt with Drogon sitting on the Iron Throne.
Just burning it up.
Exactly.
Oh my
Burn it.
That's
God.
what I want. I want.
All seriousness though, who sits on the Iron Throne? I think it's Tyrion on some like, yo, I'm just here, but I don't think it's with nobody else though. And I think he's like, fuck, we did all this to get here. And it's one of the things he's sitting there. And he, he got the little feet, so he got to climb up on the little seat. So they're gonna make it all dramatic. That he got to climb up there and everything. To get himself together and turn around, like, oh, and then sit down and be like, damn. First of all, he gonna let my feet swinging.
Well,
need to
I
get
hope-
this changed.
I hope they get him a
first
stool
of all, he's
this
like, I
time.
need a new seat because my feet swinging. I need my feet to be kind of planted because my blood rushes to my feet, and then I get my feet
my
come off,
goodness.
and then
See, that's what my theory works.
start to have a little problem with my feet. If I jump down, my feet to sleep because my blood ain't blood there, so he gonna have to get it smaller.
I'm saying he gonna walk in with Sansa like Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. He gonna walk in like, yo, what? Brooklyn, what?
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah. All right. Tyrion with Daryl's interesting
Tyrion
interpretation of how he climbs the throne. Okay, let's
If
talk
all
about.
this actually, if any one of my predictions comes to life, I should win this whole game because I'm outlanding.
Tyrion was actually my prediction.
No, but the way if he gets on the throne, like I said,
Oh, yeah,
and,
and the
he
footstool.
climbs up, and
It's the specific way that he takes the
struggle a little
throne.
bit though, because his little feet, and he's trying to get up there. If y'all see that, and he turned around all the way to try to climb up in there.
If little people, if any of you are listening to this podcast, I apologize for Daryl's ignorance.
Shout out to Chuck, man. I miss little people too, though. Yeah, that's my dude.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
would mess with him and be
Chuck,
like, yo,
punch Daryl in the face next time you see
No,
him.
I'm not hating. I'm just saying that would be like a climactic moment of like, man, like this dude surmounted all this mountain to climb up to be the king.
So I think we need to put in the
It's
rules.
cinematic.
I think we need to put in the rules if Drogon takes the Iron Throne, if Tyrion gets on with a footstool, and if Drogon self-procreates and lives happily ever after, if those three things come true, he just won the game regardless.
That's fine. I say if any one of those three happen.
He just won the game.
All right. Let's talk about some other people that weren't
let's
part of
get
that
it.
specific worksheet and whether you think they're going to make it to the end. I think we all. So the first one is Sam. Because I think he's going to have the last line. Yes, I think he makes it to the end.
Ditto.
Okay.
Because you have somebody tell the history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam ain't even in no battles. Where he going?
Yeah.
They just gonna keep on pushing him away until unless everybody did. Sam
Unless the sugar catch him, I don't see
Yeah.
that.
He was like, I got the sugars. Like, damn, he got diabetes. They got that there.
Okay, what about Gilly?
I think she makes it.
If he died, she definitely dead woman walking.
I'm saying I think Gilly make it either way. She's
I do
a killer.
too. I do too.
Yeah, she ain't playing.
I think she makes it regardless.
Okay.
Yeah. Davos.
That's my dude. I think Davos makes it.
I do too.
Yeah, man. He's gonna be the hand.
Yeah, I can see him being the
He's
hand.
your hand, and that's
That-
not
but
an
he's-
outlandish prediction.
But he's only the hand if John makes it. Whose hand?
I think he's the hand, even if Tyrion makes it,
Maybe.
because he's the dude you just want on your squad. You just want him to be down with you and just be around. He's bro with Stannis. He was Stannis' man. He gets to be John's man. You want him to be in your field with you. He don't even do that much. He can't even fight that good. But you just know that his knowledge and his game and his guidance is what you need.
Okay.
I don't think Davos makes it.
You
That was on a thing. I think Sam. He ain't going out there to fight. When the last time you seen him fight?
I know, but
You ain't seen him fight since Blackwater.
he's such
He
a
didn't even
tragic
fight there.
character.
Wait, he did fight at Blackwater.
Yeah, he fought, but he was on a boat, sitting there getting shot.
I know, because even when he was at Castle Black and
got up out of there.
yeah, he didn't. He was when the one I'm forgetting the man's name that killed John. When they came up there, like knocking on the door when they were in the room with John's body, he was like, "Look, I ain't never known how to fight, so I apologize for what you all are about to see." So no, he can't fight.
Yeah, but he gives you. But he's knowledgeable and he's understanding of stuff.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
No, I like him a lot. I just think he's such a tragic character. He seems so solemn and so.
He's been through a lot.
Yeah, so I feel like
wife, yeah.
I feel like there's no happy endings for that character. I mean, he's seen so much death. He's seen so much betrayal. He's seen so many alliances.
But he's still
shift.
going.
Right, I just feel like there's no happy ending. Like,
John
so
gets all them cats who somebody to believe in.
What was his happy? So John died. So we all think that John's gonna die at the end. So what would his happy ending be?
If him and Danny's child survives,
And he gets to
taking care of that child and making sure that that child eventually sits on the Iron Throne.
Or maybe Tyrion in a situation where he's the regent. He's just the one holding the spot until that child comes of age.
Yeah.
And maybe he's necessarily not even a Targaryen. He's just the regent for the Targaryens until this child is of age to be on the Iron Throne.
Yeah. I could see that.
I mean, okay. I feel like he's a tragic character. There's no.
Yeah, but you just can't torture him the whole
He's
time.
Ahab. He's Ahab in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but you can't torture him the whole time and get. And even Joe. That's
Yes,
why I
you can. If you watch the show, you definitely can.
no. I get it, but I'm saying, but they're gonna just kill you. They won't torture you without redemption. And George R. R. Martin says that with Theon, he's like, I'm just not gonna torture this character continuously over these books and not let him have
his redeeming moment
or something that you remember him by. That's why I'm saying with Davos too, same thing.
Okay. Next one is Lyanna Mormont.
Oh,
I think she runs the north actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
yeah,
so,
I
like,
could see that. Yeah,
She's a Stark. She's a Mormont, but it's like related to the Stark, so she could, she might marry Gendry on the low.
Well, she's a Stark ally. I don't know if she's part of the house.
But you can marry somebody and you could take a name up just for the purpose of it.
She answered the call.
Or what if Bran is like her blind husband? Is this kind of just for the
Bran is not blind.
He ain't gonna hang with you. You might as well be blind. He gonna stay out by that tree and just with his little blanket.
What?
You know what I'm saying? Looking like a little blind man back then. I'm just saying, you marry him, Bran don't even know he got married.
So do we know how paralyzed?
He paralyzed with something. He don't even know he married.
How paralyzed is Bran? Like waist down, or like?
Yeah, he's like.
He's paralyzed from the waist down.
Yeah, because you remember he strapped when he strapped on the sled. He just looked around. He ain't got no get up to even move up. He just laid out.
Right, I'm saying that he
can't.
Sometimes they still can. This works sometimes.
No, I know that. But Bran, I'm saying Bran won't even know that because he gonna be warging somewhere thinking about something else.
And they're gonna marry him off while he's working.
Yes.
Add this to the list of Daryl's ridiculous predictions.
Look, one of these is gonna crack, and y'all gonna be like, this
One is gonna
motherfucker
crack.
right here.
I'm so
Lando
glad
does
you're
that.
not helping them right on this show.
It's like the dude that keeps putting $20 on 501 eyes on the crap table and stuff on the
No,
one buy.
He goes
Daryl
broke.
is like Daryl is right.
He
The
goes
don't.
broke and his house goes into foreclosure. That's what happens.
No. You put $20 on it. It's not a lie. It's not a lie. You just keep riding around putting $20 on 501
Oh
things
my!
in crap
No,
tables.
Daryl trying to write the "Don't Be a Menace" version of Game of Thrones.
Is there a website where you can place bets on these predictions?
Yes.
You guys should definitely do this.
Yeah. I mean, I see it now. My bets would be a little bit
Once you
different.
lost the money, I feel
We talking shit on the podcast.
Oh my goodness!
There is a bet for Drogon. It is 25-1 that he does have an egg. Vegas.
Fine, I can see that, but the rest of the mess you were talking about.
Yes. I mean, I gotta balance. We gotta have some craziness on.
You
Gotta have
right.
some
You right.
craziness.
You right. You got to keep the people laughing. All right, Robin Aaron. I think he makes it to the end.
You think Little Robin?
I do.
Lil
I
Rocket
do.
Robin?
I hope he's been training.
He ain't training for nothing. I think they gonna take over his little area and give it to like some random other people. Don't be like, hey man, this gonna give it to him. No, y'all run it, but act like he the king.
Well, I mean, he's pledged his allegiance to House Stark.
Yeah.
I
so that
can-
means the Starks run you. That's like in the mafia where it's like
No,
you're
I mean-
up under the Corleone family, but you ain't one of the 7 families.
Yeah.
Or 5 families.
I don't know. The Sansa I saw last season, I don't know if she let that slide.
Robin Aaron.
Yeah.
You think she gonna kill Robin?
She would kill Robin Aaron? What does she have against him, though, really?
She gonna get him for him.
He's insane.
Oh, you
Robin
saying this
Aaron?
off the strength. You saying this, we just don't need him in the
Yeah.
streets. You say he's a liability.
Right. Isn't he a liability?
He is a liability in general. We just
I'm okay. So he was a little boy. I'm hoping that he's matured. He helped out with the Battle of the Bastards. Like I'm
He was
hoping.
breastfeeding at 12.
I
No,
know
that
that.
wasn't him that helped out Battle of
I
Bastards. That
thought,
was Littlefinger.
but it was his army, wasn't it?
But that's Littlefinger telling him he
Right.
should do that.
Right. But I mean, like,
He doesn't have that guidance anymore, so it's all crazy out there. He could fuck around. He'll fuck around and be in the along with Cersei though next season.
But also,
that's
I feel like
Cersei go out there,
I feel like Robin was.
put some pregnant on him, put some pregnant on him. You know, some more pregnant pussy on him, and then he'd be like, "I'm aligned." With,
all right.
I feel like
It's about
Robin-
time to wrap up.
I feel like Robin. I feel like
I've
maybe
been
I'm
thinking this for a
wrong.
long time.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like
I've
Robin
been thinking this for a while.
suggested that they make Sansa fly when she first showed up.
He did.
Yeah, he
Didn't
did.
he say? Can we make her fly?
Make her fly through the
Yeah.
moon door.
So I think. I feel like the Sansa.
I got to see the moon door in Croatia. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
I think the Sansa
It's
I
not real. It's
seen.
just a hole.
I think she's like, no, I ain't gonna forget that. I ain't forgot about that.
Oh, you saying Sansa ain't forgot about?
Yeah, I don't think Sansa forgot about that.
Oh, yeah, Sansa's on.
I don't know if that's enough reason
No,
to kill
Sansa
him.
is on some EP.
People
no,
get
Sansa
killed
is
for a
ain't
lot less
forgetting.
in this show.
Hey, she like 50 Cent. She ain't forgetting nothing.
I mean, think about
She
all the people-
real petty around these parts. She remember all y'all cats.
Yeah.
All y'all people that support me and let me get raped and all that
she-
stuff.
and she
I see
said-
all y'all.
And once again, let's not forget.
Just wait till we get these White Walkers up out of here, though. I'm gonna check in with y'all
She
later on.
fed Ramses to his own dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he
She didn't
deserved
even
it.
trust her own brother coming back.
Right, but here's the thing, though. We talking about he deserved it. She went from demure little girl who wouldn't even speak up when Joffrey tried to bully
Kill her
Arya.
own dad.
Yeah, she went
Yeah.
to her own dad to feeding her ex-husband to his own dogs. To letting him
She
still
got
be
the
on.
Cersei in her though too. Though Cersei
that's
was
what I'm
giving her
saying.
game though, giving her a game.
But no, that's what I'm saying. What was Cersei? So if
So
she
was
admires-
Littlefinger. She
so
learned a whole lot of
but that's
stuff
the
in
thing.
both
so
of
she
them.
went. So she went on record saying she admired Cersei. She admired her strength. What would Cersei do? How would Sansa react to Cersei's?
I'm
thing?
paying all them. What does it say? Lannister pay all their
Yeah,
debts.
she killed Robin. She killed Robin. She
Possibly.
put what
Lannisters
other
pay
people
all their
did.
debts.
Thank you.
She would. She
That
would.
okay? That's possible.
I mean, the streets is the streets always.
I've heard.
Lannisters
That,
make all
that's
their
the
debts.
wire. That's from the wire.
Ultimately, Lannisters get.
No, the streets is the streets always.
Oh yeah. The streets is the streets.
Okay.
Um,
I mean, I guess I can see that. I still see him making it to the end, though. In some like,
Rocky, I call him Rocky.
in some small role, I could see him making it to the end.
So who's running that area now since Littlefinger's dead?
He is.
Robin is.
But Robin, he was just stopped sucking his mom's breast like a year and a half ago.
I don't think it was that long ago.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, she's been dead for several. She's been dead since season 1.
No.
Season 1 or season
no,
2?
No, 4.
She did not die.
It was like
in 4.
4.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, Littlefinger,
It's like 3 or 4.
Killed her.
Yeah, because
like
Sansa was with him. Sansa had already left. You got to think this after her dad died. After she was supposed to be put to marry Tyrion. Right. You got to remember she was already that journey. So when did Joffrey die? Season 3?
Yeah.
Yes, you got to think that's season 4. That happened.
I think it was season 5. I think it was
No,
after
he
that.
died. He died season 4, episode 2.
Joffrey did.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
it's
she
got to
died
be
season 5.
So it's gonna be season 5, yeah. Because she was riding with him, and staying there, and she,
Right.
and she was wild
She was
because
talking about their wedding night. They were planning their wedding. She was talking about the sex she was gonna have on their wedding night.
Yeah.
He pushed out the window.
Hang on, I'm gonna look it up.
Well, look it up.
yeah,
I just be right in a couple seconds instead of being right now.
So did you think Robin was gonna make it?
No, he dies.
yeah, I think that is gonna just annex his land. This is gonna be the extra
Yeah,
land.
Robin is a Game of Thrones Fredo. You know, he's Fredo in Game of Thrones.
I'm smart.
Right.
I know things.
Not like dumb.
Right. But I know things.
Right. Send Fredo pick up someone at the airport.
Yeah. What do
She
y'all-
died in season 4.
Yes, was it? Yeah. How did he pushed her out before?
He pushed her out.
Littlefinger pushed her through the moon door.
He
So
pushed
this must be right after Joffrey died. Then.
What episode was that?
I'm gonna look it up. Hang on.
Yeah, it's got to be right after Joffrey because she didn't.
It
even
was
leave.
shortly after because
Yeah.
Littlefinger took Sansa to.
It had to be.
She got on the boat.
Sorry. It was after Joffrey. Joffrey died in the penultimate episode. So that was
Season
episode
4.
9.
Episode 2. Season 4 is when Joffrey died.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
he died early. They got him about to paint early.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember the Oberyn fight is later on that season.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
episode
That's
9.
the penultimate episode.
Okay.
You got to remember because that put on everybody thinking that Tyrion had something to do with it. That he had.
Yeah, because that whole
Season ended up being about Tyrion getting to where Dany is.
So season 5 was when he makes it over there, and they hold him into
the
that
fighting pits.
not the fighting pits, but they keep. So him and Bronn make it to.
No, him and Varys. Tomorrow when it trying to go east.
No, so after Tyrion,
Oh, after he
Tyrion
leaves
escapes
from there, from the battle
he becomes
combat.
Catelyn Stark's captor.
Catelyn.
Yeah, Catelyn Stark's captor.
Then he
They make
goes-
it there to what's this? Where's Robin's?
Oh, the Vale.
It's a Vale. He makes it to
Yeah,
the
and
Vale.
then he has to fight
Yeah.
for
and Bronn fights for him.
because Brian is in the Vale.
Yeah, and Bronn fights when they put Tyrion in that prison that just has no third wall, no fourth wall, and he just falls to his death. Okay, all right. So yeah, she's dead by then.
Yeah,
I
it's
forget
gonna
how
be-
we even got there.
So what other stuff we got questions on the wall?
Hang on, let me see. So there was a few more. Grey Worm.
He has to live.
I think he does too.
You got to leave Nation of Islam alive.
Yeah.
Does,
At least one black character has to
Yeah.
survive, right?
what about Missandei?
Yo, and you know what? I was thinking about that. They gonna keep him alive just because they don't have any black characters.
It's only
You
two.
kill- yeah,
That's
I'm saying
that's
though.
the affirmative action save.
Yes, because they already know, like, damn, we don't have no black characters on here. They cast one of the main characters for the prequel season is a black woman. She's one of the main characters. They know that shit that spark is sitting on you. Grey Worm is gonna live, and I think Melisandre is too.
Missandei? Missandei. So what
I mean,
if
they
that's
can't
the
fuck,
wedding?
So what difference does it make?
I mean, damn, man. I mean, yeah. I mean, that could be the wedding too.
What about Lord Varys?
No, he dies. We already know that.
Yeah, remember her, him in the
Promise.
red priest was like, we both gonna. She told him, but we both gonna die.
Okay.
We both gonna die in this country.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, she did tell him that.
yeah.
This strange land.
Now
Yeah.
some of these prophecies is somebody that's talking shit though too. Could be to somebody like just like, man, you know I'm finna die. You gonna die with me? And you be like, well, you the one that got cancer. I don't. Like, you just hoping I die with you for somebody else to be dying.
She said it with kind of a lot of conviction.
She really
was.
did, and I but she has been wrong before.
She has. She was wrong about what Stannis had a
Stannis.
light breaker. Light breaker? Was it
The light was bringer of light.
Yeah, bringer of light.
Bringer of light. Wasn't she was Stannis. But no, she was with the Brotherhood before, right?
See, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, she was messing with the Brotherhood at first too.
Is that part I'm not sure about?
She was messing with the Brotherhood too. No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. She came back around later on, messing with the brother, kicking with the Brotherhood.
Okay.
What about Dario Naharis?
Oh, he lives.
I think he comes back. baby I'm back situation.
Well, he's protecting. Where is he?
Marine.
He's in the Bay of Dragon.
Yeah, but Marine. I mean Marine.
Yeah. Okay. So, is he coming back like without her permission? Like, here I come. I'm done protecting.
Yeah, baby,
I'm
back.
tired of being over
No,
here.
see, I heard about these White Walkers. I gotta go protect my lady.
I think he lives implicitly because I don't think we see him again.
Oh, you think that we'll never see him?
Yeah,
ever
I don't think we see that character.
That could be a
again.
great.
You don't think he's even coming back this
Yeah,
season?
yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't think we
Yeah,
see
and
that character.
You just know that he's out there. He's the lord of that area.
Yeah, he's in an area that doesn't ever get attacked by White Walkers.
I don't see them doing that to that character or that actor. Just not completely not bringing him back. Like that, I don't know. It just leaves too much of a hole in the plot when they could make that really interesting and just kill him off. So I think he dies.
But that actor is already the second actor playing a role, though.
I know, but he's had some fame. He was on Haunting of Hill House.
I like the original one kind of more though.
Oh, I did too.
I did too. That went on to be in Deadpool.
Yeah, but he was kind of fly though. He was like a fly dude. Though he had the long
He was.
hair.
Well, he had some other goals.
I don't know. He probably saw that script like, oh, so I'm out.
Well, here's the thing: the original actor looked like a punk, so it was more impressive than him being a gangster killer.
Yeah. Okay.
The second
Other
actor
looks kind of rugged,
like he looked like he could throw some hands. Like he looked like he could see some stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
Which is-
I'm not as impressed with him actually being able to fight. You know?
That's funny because on the Haunting of Hill House, I feel like he was like a wimp, and I barely even noticed that was the same actor.
Yeah, because in the book they describe him as like having a blue beard, blue hair. He's got a beard tied into 3 different knots, kind of like Dub C. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how he's described. You know what I mean? And it's like this dude just show up. He looked like he's supposed to have your back.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be able to be running a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, he looked like a sellsword. Like at least how they present that character. The second actor looks like a sellsword. The first actor's like, man. And he asked me for my lunch.
And then he came back with all the heads, like rolled them out.
Right. Really?
Oh.
You got that in you?
Yeah, you did that real quick. That was kind of fast. That was in less than a day.
Exactly.
You came back pretty fast. So let's go into religions, man. So you want to dive into that a little bit?
Yeah. So that was as I was going back to the show over the last month or two, I realized that although the children of the Andals brought over the religion of the Seven, that the religion of the Seven in the show is the only religion that doesn't have any actual feats of miracles. Mm-hmm. So everyone who's prayed, even though they have the most fanatic followers, they don't have any feats or miracles attributed to the Seven. People pray to the Seven and nothing changes. Marjorie converted over to the Seven, really sincerely converted over to the Seven. She still died.
I don't feel she sincerely did.
Okay, well, either way, she still died.
Yeah.
The 7 septums died. All the fanatic, I forgot, the guys who branded themselves with the 7-point stars, they all died. But when you look at the Lord of Light, they bring back people back from the dead. They can create their fire on their swords. We've seen the many-faced God, obviously do feats. So every other religion, the old gods have helped the children of the forest create the White Walkers to fight men. So every other religious system has a legitimate miracle or feat where we can say that the faith in this deity is legitimate, or at least understand why people convert. But the most popular religion in this world has no feats that you can attribute to the faith. And I don't know where it's going, but I feel like it's intentional. I feel like there's an intentional, the way that we look at the author to how he feels about religion and the loose translation of what's happened in Westeros to medieval times in Europe history. I feel like there's an intentional analogous type of relationship to that, the inefficiency and the effectiveness of that religion that's being pushed forth, because the Andals brought that religion over, right? When they brought over to the children of forest and the first men, and it was kind of like the Crusades. They pushed through to make people to convert and all those things, and then to have such a obvious omission of any types of feats from this representation of God this late in the game. I feel like it's something there. I feel like that's the elephant in the room, and I don't know exactly what's going on.
Do you think there's going to be a big reveal this season with that religion?
I don't know. That's what I'm getting to. I don't know what it's going to be. I feel like it's important. And I feel like it's something we should watch for, but I don't know exactly where it's going to go. I heard a theory that said that the many-faced God was actually the one true God because the many-faced God, because it's many faces, could take on the faces of deity throughout all the other deities. But I still don't. It still doesn't explain to me why the 7 still don't have any feet. So
I just wonder. I agree with you. I just wonder how much time we really have in season 8 to now like develop a whole religion or proof of the faith of that one. And then just a little bit that I've read about it. You know, the many-faced God religion is supposed to be just like the small religion that they follow in Bravos. But I think that it kind of got on my nerves, frankly, in season 6. I was ready for it to be over, and I was ready for Arya to get out of there. But since they've made they've dedicated so much time to it, I could see that being the one true religion for this series.
Yeah, I could see it definitely be the one true religion, but I guess you have to figure out what. I guess they need to figure out some belief, or maybe they don't have a belief, or maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, what's the whole point of them not having a name or an identity and taking on whatever identity they want to have, and the list of names being so important?
Well, I mean, you look at all the deviations that the series made from the books. They spent a significant amount of time in each season talking about a specific religion. You know, one season we're looking at the Lord of Light. Now we're looking at the 7 Septums. Now we're looking at the many-faced gods. So thematically and even narratively, what's the point of spending all that precious time in these short seasons talking about religion if at the end of it, it doesn't have any effect?
Yeah.
It winds up just being wasted time. So I feel like there's going to be, there has to be a reveal. Yeah. Otherwise, they just wasted our time giving us information about stuff that didn't matter. Yeah. You know, and think about how rarely religion that's not about modern day terrorism shows up in any movie or series you see. You know, other than a movie about terrorism, like religion never comes up. You know, so to spend several seasons talking about individual religions to the level that they do, it has to have some role, right?
Yeah, I absolutely believe that, which kind of takes me to the last question. I don't know if we'll wrap up with this or not, but something that ultimately I think everybody is asking is, what do the White Walkers want, and what's going to stop them? And one of the many fan theories I have read has been that this great war is about the battle between good and evil, but like what you think is the good side and what you think is the evil side is frankly irrelevant, because both sides, there's whoever the winner is, there is the villain for the other side, and whoever the villain is, there's a hero on their side. So the White Walkers are fighting for something too. I don't know if we know what that is, and that Sam and Bran are figuring out what it is the White Walkers truly want. And it sounds kind of cheesy, but what the theory I've consistently read is that love, it's what's going to heal the Night King. Wow. Yeah, it's so silly and it sounds so cheesy, but something about like Bran and Sam are going to figure this out, and the dragon glass is going to be an act of love that heals him, and that's what's going to make all this stop. I don't know how that's going to come about, but I think it might tie into the religious theme that you've been talking about.
Now, Lightbringer, what's the sword name?
Lightbringer.
Yeah.
Lightbringer. That's what's supposed to stop the Night King, right?
Yeah.
Because the dragon glass is what created him. So I'd be interested to see how dragon glass would kill him.
Yeah. I don't know.
Man, I think they like the Borg from Star Trek. They just destruction.
They all fall when he falls.
Look.
Whenever he dies, they all fall.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but I don't think there's no purpose. They just constantly just trying to put people into the Borg and make it a bigger entity.
So you don't think that the Night King has any sort of conscious purpose?
No, it's just putting just putting somebody out there and he just mows them down.
But he appears to be fighting for something.
Yeah, I feel the Night King has a conscious purpose. The rest of the whites may not, but I think he at least does.
Yeah, I agree with that. He and the rest of the White Walkers.
He has a purpose though.
Because he's so intentional with the things that he does.
Right, and he's strategic.
When he mowed down the dragon last season, that was methodical.
Yeah.
He took his time. He lined it up.
He waited for her to bring the dragon. He knew the dragons was coming.
Not only, but he had a subordinate bring him an ice spear. He took his time, lined it up, put his arm out to measure out the throw, and threw it, and then reloaded. And it took John to say, "Hold up, get the rest of the dragons out of here," because he was going to do it again. Like he was.
When he get a couple.
Exactly. He was
Yeah.
methodical about it.
Yeah.
So I feel like whatever he's doing is intentional. I can't say it's just zombie.
I think he can be intentional in his actions, but I don't know if he is intentional in his thoughts.
Or in his purpose.
Yeah.
But he created a situation where he allowed men to live as long as they gave them babies.
Right.
He took those babies and made them whites. So even then, he's negotiating a peace treaty. There are terms to that treaty in which
Yeah.
he's allowing you to live. I mean, that has to be intentional. It's not just he could have just killed everybody, whatever. But he's creating
Well, no,
terms.
but he also needed those to be able to try to take over. He needed those.
Right, but that makes it intentional.
Right. Yeah.
That's-
He's
that-
building an army
yeah.
just like everybody else on this series.
Compared to zombies, right? Zombies bite anything.
Yeah,
There's
you
no
do it
intentional.
the
Yeah,
way.
exactly. They bite babies, they bite kids, they bite whatever. But he's creating a peace treaty and saying, "I'm gonna allow you to coexist as your existence so long as you do this thing." He has a plan, and whatever I concede that he's creating those babies to create other whites, but he's getting those babies to create whites for a plan, not just because he's a mindless person that's doing things
Right.
randomly.
Yeah. I mean, and he was created from a human.
Right.
So do we expect that like his human thoughts and experience expired when he was created?
Yeah, because he was created from a human, and he was like a baby. So
Right.
maybe that's why he's conscious, because he's the only one that is actually a fully grown adult. Basically, everybody else
Right.
maybe his kids that are around him are dead people that are just.
And you think about the children of the forest created him, he would only have been an effective weapon against. So they created one entity to be an effective weapon against the Andals when they came and to evade the children of the forest. He had to be able to be calculated in order to be an effective weapon because they only created one.
Yeah.
He created the rest of them, but they created one weapon against man.
Yeah.
So he had to be able to think. He had to be
But then he set
cognitive.
them up to be able to create other people too, though. Because
Right.
when we didn't see the Night King for a few seasons, we just saw these other ice creatures coming out,
Exactly.
hitting other people at all, like and making them become ice. Kings.
But that's why he has to be calculating, because why would they create a mindless zombie, one mindless zombie?
Why would he continually? Why did he go after the children of the forest then? If those are people that created you, those people that put you in this position.
That's the $1 million question. That's the question I'm hoping is answered this season.
Mm.
That's the question I have. That's the question that's not been, and I didn't read all the books,
Yeah.
but that's the question that I did not see answered in the books that I read.
Yeah.
And that's why I've not seen answered thus far in the series. So, how that break happened between the children of the forest and the Night King, I think probably is going to lead us to what his motivations are.
So you're saying that George Orwell can make us be empathetic with him, with his plight?
I mean, that's how he writes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how he
Keeps
writes.
constantly turning it.
Yeah.
Keeps constantly turning it.
He makes the characters you initially sympathize with to be monsters.
Yeah.
He makes the characters that you thought were monsters be sympathetic. I mean, he makes you feel different ways about people who have varying levels of incest. You root for Jon Snow and you find out that he's banging his aunt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He conflicts you the entire time with his narrative. And so
And all of the characters are so multidimensional.
Yeah.
There are things you hate about them. There are things you love about them.
all right.
Yeah, and I just can't see him creating a character with this much importance that that could end everything and it not have a point behind it.
Like up until this point, we've not had any purely right or wrong. Everyone has a vantage point in which you can see whether you're rooting for them or not. You can see how their claim is legitimate, and what we know, there's this whole prophecy legacy thing of the prince that was promised, and we don't know who that is.
Right.
Yeah.
And we know the Night King could just be fed up with not having him.
Yeah.
And for all we know, the Night King's not trying to kill everybody. He's just he knows who the Prince of the Promise was, and he's going to get him. But we don't know because of all the other political turmoil that we've seen over the last several years. It's caused an instance where the people who were supposed to be keeping track and record of that had forgotten, but they also forgotten that the White Walkers exist.
Yeah.
And so he's the only person who remembers and
Yeah,
who
'cause
knows what was promised.
Yeah, I was reading some other stuff about how often they say the North remembers. It's like, no, actually, y'all have forgotten a lot of stuff, and you're the ones that are closest to the wall.
But y'all forgot all about these White Walkers.
Like Ned Stark executed a man
Right.
the very first episode for saying White Walkers exist.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and I think there was like, I know this probably was not George R. Martin's intention, considering when he wrote the books, but there was like so much symbolism with the dragon like burning down the wall too, like with today. So I mean, I kind of agree with Scott that like there could be a purpose that we do not see that the Night King has, as far as like even maybe unifying people. I mean, because that's what's going to happen. They're going to have to be unified against the White Walkers to survive.
So you said maybe it's supposed to be like y'all need to be unified as Westeros.
Stop fighting each other.
But it was kind of some unity though before, you know.
Except for Cersei's crazy ass. Yeah.
Well, no, it was really Robert the Hater.
Well, I mean, and then you see like how much Jon has unified people too, though. I mean, all of these houses are coming together to support the Starks. He unified the Wildlings with the Night's Watch.
Robert's a hater today when knowing what we know now.
Right, yeah. But
Robert's decisions were not hater decisions. Given the information available. Not given the information we knew at the time.
Yeah, because we were lied to. He lied too.
Oh, dear Lord, we're going back to this conversation.
Yeah, but no, he's a hater.
You know the name of the game, your bitch chose me.
Exactly.
But that's what should have happened. That was the problem. That conversation never happened. So I can't call Robert a hater because no one ever told about the choose.
You said, so he never got game of it.
He never got game of it. Like, they got married behind his back. The statement was, yo, your man's ran up on me, snatched me up. He thought he was doing it. He thought he was handling his business. You know, I can't call him a hater in this instance just because he didn't know she was a choosy Susie.
But she told him she didn't want to be with him, though.
Yeah, but I mean, you know.
She's like, I don't want to be with you at all. Like, he was like, don't worry about it. And then remember now, when him and Ned are down there, he's like, oh, man, she, like, the whole thing is like, yo, she loved me so much. I miss her so much. She ain't trying to be with you.
Right, but I mean, women have the same kind of choices then they had now.
Yeah, but
I mean, you think Sansa wanted to marry Ramsay? Like, I'm saying, like, she didn't want to marry Tyrion. I'm saying, I am not. This is not a commentary on modern day relationships.
Yes,
I am saying that within the world that we have existed, that her just saying, "I want to marry you." We've seen Sansa marry 2 people she did not want to marry. Mm-hmm. So if all she said was, "I don't want to marry you," hell, Cersei didn't want to marry Robert, and she still married him. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying that the standard of her saying, "I don't want to marry you," is not such a strong enough standard to say, "Oh, well, clearly." She should have known. He should have known she was with somebody else.
No, that's fine. But I'm saying, like, I can't get mad at you choosing somebody else. You know, I already knew, like, man, she ain't even feeling it for real.
But you could have just did it politically, though. You have to be. I mean, you could have just did it politically.
Right, but he wouldn't made it a war out of it. It got half the Starks killed.
Well,
he got Brandon Stark killed.
She was the reason. She wasn't the
all
cause.
that jumped off because it's like me coming to you, like, yo, they stole it, OG. You know what I mean? Oh, they stole who? Stole my sister? Then you got them riding out off of your feelings of how it is.
That's true, but he also got the benefit of being the leader of the whole world that he knew of, which is also a non-zero part of that equation.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Well, I'm saying, like, I mean, you could say, yo, Shaq slapped my mama, that's why Scott went to war. But if I also get to be the leader of the world, like,
so you saying that
I ain't saying I'm not going to war because you slapped my mama. But I'm saying, but being a leader of the free world also is a strong part of it.
But I don't even know if Robert was even thinking that far in the game. The only reason I think that they put him is because he was the one that led the final battle, and it was like a thing of like how they made George Washington the first president. It wasn't because he was the best diplomat. It was like, oh, he's kingly, so let's put him there because he won the war.
And I think in that we'll just disagree. I feel like Robert had ambition. I think
Robert You're thinking Robert's smarter than what I'm saying to you.
I'm saying Robert had ambition to be king. I think Robert didn't know what king would be. I thought his ideal of what being king is different than what being king actually is. And
and all the day-to-day stuff.
Exactly.
That's why he didn't want to do nothing. Okay.
Exactly. Like Naruto being a Hokage. You know? It's like, yeah, Naruto wanted to be Hokage. And he became Hokage. He's like, this shit ain't what I thought it was. Like,
yeah, somebody else do that.
Exactly.
Let me in for the big stuff.
And that's what I thought. That's how I felt like Robert. Like, I want to be king. I can do what I want to do. Nobody tell me nothing. And then he realized the day-to-day was actually much more. There's much more minutia in it that he signed up for.
It's like motherfuckers don't want to say you want to be the president. You're like, damn, you get there. You're like, wow, that's a lot of meetings.
Exactly.
It's a lot of meetings. All right. Raven, you have any final thoughts?
Oh, Lord. I think it's gonna...
I get so
We
sick of
went
that.
through this
I get
the
so
whole year.
sick of that ultimate hater conversation.
It is, but he is a hater.
I just tune out every time y'all start talking about it. I'm looking forward to this last season. I'm also really sad about it.
Yeah, but the prequel comes next year too.
Yeah, I keep hearing about these prequel series. I don't know what they're gonna latch
Supposed
onto,
to
what
be,
story they're gonna tell.
Basically, around when the Targaryens come.
Okay, I mean that could be interesting, but still, we're gonna not be watching some of our favorite people, and it's been how long has it been since season 7 ended? We've been anticipating this for so long.
Year and a half.
It's longer, over a year.
Yeah, we've been anticipating this for so long. There's only 6 seasons in this episode. I am really interested to see
6 episodes.
Yeah. I know I'm dyslexic right now. It's late. I'm tired. But yeah, so I'm anxious to see what they cover in this first episode. I'm excited.
To see what they're gonna do too. I'm interested in it too. So, any last thoughts, Scott?
I'm really kind of depressed. I mean, I'm older than both of you, so I live in a world where all the comic books and sci-fi things that I read as a child, as a young adult, are coming to life in a major way and getting major fanfare. And there is the curmudgeon in me that is looking at it like it's not exactly what I wanted to do, but also it's way better than I ever imagined. And so we're getting to a point where now it's ending, and I don't know how much longer it'll still stick around.
I think that's gonna be all genre. I think.
You know, and so it's a very difficult thing for me to see this end, because there's a finality to something I've looked forward to for a long time that I feel like it's not gonna be exactly what I expected, but once it's over, and we can't redo it. Yeah, So.
All right. My last thoughts is shout out to my man Drogon, holding down for us black people.
God.
Make sure y'all keep listening. I will not be here for the next 2 episodes. I will be in London.
Cheerio.
Yeah, I'll be there. Maybe I'll take my second mic and get my thoughts after I listen to y'all and I edit it. Get my back end thoughts. Especially if Drogon lays an egg. Oh, I'm wilding.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I'm sure you
As
will.
you should.
Yes.
Actually, matter of fact, if Drogon lays an egg, I'm gonna come on video chat and y'all just put me on for like a couple of seconds.
Okay, we
Well,
can
I'll be
do
like,
that.
I told y'all. Any of my predictions come on within the next 2 weeks while I'm gone.
Can you
I'm
restate those predictions?
Drogon has a child. Also, a lot of my mind are like long-term things.
Drogon is going to be sitting on the Iron Throne. I
Yeah.
heard that.
That was
He said
real-
Drogon's going to teabag the Iron Throne.
Oh, yeah, he did.
That was crazy. That was crazy. As fuck. That was getting crazy.
Tyrion climbs the Iron Throne,
Climbs it, and then
and then his little feet swing, and he sits on a potty chair or something like
yeah,
that.
he needs. And he says, "I need to get another chair."
Oh God!
Great.
And that's how it ends.
No, I don't think it is like that. I'm just saying he just saying like, "Yo, we need to go and get this chair."
I need another
That's just
chair.
bananas.
Yeah. Or he sits on Sansa's lap or something. That'd be kind of crazy, right?
That would also be bananas.
That would be crazy.
That would be bananas.
Like, I'll go and scoot over, babe. Let me go and get right up on you, like right there.
Like Mike Epps and
We share the throne.
Friday After Next.
Yeah. Thank y'all for listening. Email us landokelpod@gmail.com and we will be back. I won't, but I may be, depending on my theories. See y'all. Peace.